All right, I see the live stream going now. Pros, happy Thursday. Welcome to Pro Power Hour. This is something we do every week at this time. It's a product training webinar, kind of like a group onboarding class, if you will. You can come attend every week or catch the recordings. Every week, we take a product or feature inside Housecall Pro and really give you the overview, talk about the benefits, pros and cons, and give you a full demo and answer your questions. We've got a Help Center article that's got all of our past recordings and sessions. You can go back and take a look at those. I say this all the time. We've probably covered 95% of the platform. So if there's something you're struggling with, you've got a new employee, or you just need some refreshers, we probably did a session on something you're looking for. And as House Call Pro evolves, we're doing these every week to talk over some of the changes and just, again, refresh on some stuff that we haven't done in a while. So we're going to be talking about the Marketing Center today. Last week, I know Phil and Shanna talked about a bunch of different spring cleaning tips to clean up your accounts. I bet that was a good one, so go back and check that out. But Phil's with us again this week. He's one of our onboarding specialists. Yeah, Phil, let's get into the Marketing Center today.
Yeah, yeah. All right, everybody. So yeah, we've gone over this a couple of times. If you caught us at the beginning, I'm pretty sure we've done this probably within the last 6 months, but it's a very useful feature, and still not too many people know about it. And when they get to see some of you, if you're new to the platform, when you get to see some of the capabilities of it, you really start to see some more value with our product here. So I understand not everybody is going to have full access to the advanced marketing, which I do have. So if you are following along, you may not see everything that I'm sharing with you all, but I will point out the differences between what is available to everybody who has the basic marketing versus everything that the advanced marketing offers. But first, as some of y'all heard, we're going to play a little slide deck. We didn't have one last week, but we're going to do one this week, and just kind of go over, some of the stuff from a high view, and then I'll pull up my account and we'll go ahead and see it in action. So,
Good point too, Phil. If anybody's interested in getting those advanced features, you see those today, I can get you connected with a success advisor and talk to you a little bit more about that. So throw that in the chat at any point if anybody wants to connect.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Any questions? Yeah, certainly feel free to throw them in the chat. We only had a couple come in from the community, so we love questions here. So send them on through. All right, so getting into the marketing center. Um, so with the marketing center, we have our different campaigns. Now, again, we are going to see all this in real time once we get through the slide deck, but we have three options for you. We do have the uh, email blast campaigns. We have the text message blast campaigns. We have the postcard blast campaigns. And we also have our campaign flows. We have those for both postcards as well as email and text messaging. So getting into there, as we can see, just kind of looking at the slide, pointing out the different campaigns that are available within those features. Again, being able to set up marketing campaigns with your emails. So if you just want to do a blast for a specific promo you have, or there's also with the campaign flows, we can set up, if customer leaves us a review, we can have a postcard or a text message or an email be sent to them, either a couple of days, a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months after they fill out that review. We'll talk more in depth about that in a little bit. Um, the automated campaign flows, whenever I show this to my pros, they absolutely love it because saying we say around here is we want to give you time back in your day. And so instead of having to sit there and go through your data and figure out, oh, I did a job for this person, I need to send them an email. Like I mentioned, we do have triggers that will just automate as soon as they fill out a review. As soon as we say a job is done, boom, we can go ahead and start a campaign. The improved SMS consent for the opt-in process. So with our marketing, I get a lot of questions, especially when it comes to the text messaging with our system. So within our system, we have two kind of styles of text message. The text messages that just about every account should have is the on my way, job is scheduled, job is completed text messages. Those are included with I believe just about everybody's account. I know it is included for every Max and Max Plus account. Um, but those do not have like a press C to confirm or an opt-out version. I mean, technically there is, but the customer can't do it themselves. They actually have to reach out to you and say, I don't want those, and we have to uncheck the box. However, we also have marketing text messages. And with those marketing text messages, whenever we send out our first blast of marketing text messages or our first marketing campaign with text messages, the customer will receive an email before your message that says that they are opted in. I forget what exact key they have to click to respond, but they can opt out of it from the text message. The other, what this is talking about, the improved SMS consent opt-in, opt-out process is I'm going to show you there's a little button. So if a customer gives you that verbal approval, we can just go on in there and check the box or uncheck the box so that way, you know, they don't have to do it from their end. And then the last thing is the online booking integration. That there is some features into that. Basically, when it comes down to sending out emails or text messages to our customers when we're doing a marketing campaign, is we can have a certain link that's on it. Typically, it goes out automatically with it, bringing a customer to your online booking if you do have that set up, so we can see the data of if this campaign was successful or not. Again, I will show you how that's going to look. So SMS marketing, I believe I might have jumped the gun a little bit here, but this is what I was basically talking about is so that when a customer receives the messages, they can opt out from their end, or we can have that verbal discussion and we can manually do that stuff on our end. For email marketing, pretty self-explanatory, but with that, we don't really need a particular consent for that. Customers can obviously just delete the emails if they want, but really the point is that we can shoot those out there. It's great for newsletters, any way to continuously reach out to your customers that prefer their communications through email. Our campaign flows, as I kind of discussed within our first slide, that's really where we can start up some kind of automation and we can really start to set up these drip campaigns. So as we're looking at this one, for example, we have when a job is going to be completed, we're going to go ahead and have a delay of a month before we have a text message go out to the customer. Um, Again, I'll show you kind of the way that I coach my pros once we get into my account, which I believe is going to be right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. And with going into the marketing center, I'm just going to go ahead and do this just like we would if we were having a private session with me. So when we get into our campaign flows, our marketing center. So we go to our marketing tab up here at the top. We're in our campaigns and we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the blue button that says new campaign. Now, if you have the basic marketing, you have access to the postcards, the neighborhood postcards, the automated postcards, and the automated campaigns. The one-time text, one-time emails, those come with the advanced marketing. There's also going to be, as we start to put a campaign together, you're going to see that there's going to be different options you can select for when you're targeting your customers. I know that when you have the basic, you have a limited number of the ones you'll see in my drop-down menu. Some of the other ones will come with that advanced marketing. So I'm going to show just a little bit of everything. The only thing I can't really show too well is the text messaging because I don't have that on my account. But if we were to go in and set up a campaign, the first thing it's going to ask us to do is to create a target list of customers that we want to target with our campaign. We see all the ones I've created before, but we're going to go ahead and create a new one for today's session. So we'll hit new list. We'll call it hour 49. Now down below is our conditions here, so that way we can go ahead and use any one of these conditions to start to create our target list of customers. I see a lot of people use the customer tag. A lot of people tend to use location to try and just get everybody that's within that area. There's lead source. So if you want to target specific, maybe you want to do just one campaign for everyone that called the number off the side of your truck. Maybe you want to do one campaign for everybody that booked through your Google page or your Facebook page, that kind of stuff. Lifetime value. So if you have a lot of customers that have been with you for 20 plus years or something like that, we can go ahead and make sure we have one campaign that targets people within that specific type lifetime value, or if it's greater or less than that value. Creation date, that's the one I typically show most people. We're going to get to that in a second. We also do have a last service date, so that's really good if you want to target people that have had like a service date within the last month and not everybody else before then, that kind of thing. And then customer type for that in our system, there is the option to set up a customer as either a residential customer, a commercial customer, or a contractor. So that's what that really means. But in my system, and what I typically show people to do is how do I target all of my customers? And so for that, I'm actually going to go ahead and use creation date is before today's date. So now we're targeting everyone I've put into my system before today's date. We'll hit save and preview. Um, It's probably because we're doing the text messaging. I've only got one customer that's actually opted in, but when we hit next, this is where we can go ahead and start to write up our text message. As I mentioned, I don't have this set up on my account, but we're going to see when I show us the emails, it's basically going to be the same thing. We'll have a box here that we can go ahead and start typing out the text message that we want to blast to everybody. We do have a couple of templates as well, and there is an AI feature, so you can just go ahead and put in, a couple of prompts, and the AI will write that message for you. So I'm going to step back and we're going to go through this process again, but we're going to do it with our emails. So if I'm going to go into my emails, I'm going to do a new list. Maybe this time I'm going to go with everybody that's in the system before today's date again. And because emails are a little different, I should have access to everybody. So we're going to say, all right, there we go. So now we start to get a couple more customers. So we're just going to go ahead and confirm that list right here. And we'll go ahead and we'll hit next. And just like the text messages up here at the top, we can put a subject line. Obviously, we don't do that for a text message, but we would do this for our email. We can add some variables. You can do this with your text message as well, so that each particular message is personalized to those specific customers, and also that it will show your company information. There is also the add the button. So as I mentioned, that's where we can go ahead and add the book now button. And we can also have sign up for text messaging as well. Very similar. As I mentioned, we can do the same thing in our text messages as well. And up here at the top, we see the spot for the AI to write the email for us, or we can use any of these templates down here. So maybe a little thank you card. And notice how it's all populated. It even has the variables there so that we make sure that we have it more personalized for each customer. You do have the ability to, if you want to just completely write it from scratch, you can always remove everything on here and write out your email from scratch. But we're gonna go ahead. Maybe let's do a maintenance reminder. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we'll hit next. There's a little preview of the email right there. So then we'll go ahead and we'll hit send campaign. It sends you a little code. Let me see with my phone. All right. So a little verification code so nobody starts sending emails and text messages out on your behalf. And there we go. The campaign has started. And as we can see right down here, it's showing us that that is preparing the campaign. We'll come back to it in just a moment. So let's scoot back over to our a new campaign, and this time we're going to do our postcards. So with the postcards, same idea. We're going to go ahead and create a target list of customers. Just for sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and just grab the one we just created, or I'll just grab this all customers list right here. All right, now for the postcards, we do have the ability to, when we review our target list, we can go ahead and say, do we want to send a postcard to everybody, or do we want to single out specific people for postcards? So maybe I just want to send it to these three. We'll hit next. And then this is where you can build your postcard from scratch. So if you want to use your own picture, logo, you want to put a QR code on there, you can design it in any way that you like. We also do have the spot on the back here to put the message on the back of the card. So you can use those variables and so that it's personalized, and you can also have the AI write it for you, or you can do it all from scratch. If you don't want to create the postcard yourself, you have access to all of these templates over here. So there's a lot of them in here. I think you can spend almost all day scrolling through the list, but the one I always show my pros, and I know we're not anywhere near the holidays, but I like to package it like this. So we do have a Happy Holidays card. So in my system, when we went to create the target list, what I've done in mine is I pulled a report to show me who my top 20 customers are that bring me the most revenue every single year. And what I did is I went on to each of their customer profiles and put a customer tag on them that says VIP customer. So that way I can make sure that every December I pull up a Happy Holidays card and I can send it and target those particular customers to keep that relationship warm. So we're going to go ahead and put our message here on the back of the card. We'll go ahead and hit next. And this is where we can go ahead and place the order for our cards. The postcards are $1.09. They get sent directly to the customers from the people that print them, so you do not have to pay postage. This quickly just reminded me, if you are a Canadian pro, you do not have access to the postcards. I'm sorry. I've said this a lot of times to a lot of pros. I'm not sure why that necessarily is, but we do not offer it. Um, so yeah, from there we just go ahead and send out the campaign. So we're going to take a step back and now we're going to go take a look at our neighborhood postcards. So for neighborhood postcards, this is how you target people that are not in your system. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and put in a zip code, or we can put in several zip codes. So I'm going to put in my old zip code here. And we can also choose a demographic to go ahead and target. So if we want that to be their age, their gender, their vehicle type, marital status, length of residence, that kind of stuff. All of these options are on the table for you. Go ahead and hit save and preview. And that's going to go ahead and start to pull our list together. It's telling me that there are almost 15,000 potential customers in this zip code that are not in my system. So with the slide bar or the box up here, I can go ahead and put in how many of those postcards I want to get. And down below, it's going to show you, the quantity and how much that's going to cost for each postcard. Same idea as when we go ahead and hit next, we can build our postcard from scratch, or we can go ahead and grab one of the templates. And then once we're ready, we'll go ahead and put in what we want to say, and then go ahead and place our order. All right, going on back. Now we're going to go over to these automated campaigns. We'll first take a look at the automated postcards. So in here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, for sake of time, just go ahead and grab, all my customers here, send to their billing address. Yes. And let's go to next. So our trigger is when a job is completed, and then we can use the template. You can also build it from scratch. I tend to see most people just use the template, but you can do it either way you like. So basically what we have here is that once we tell the system that a job is completed, we can then add a step, which it already did for us through the template, for a delay of 1 week. I would say for a postcard, yeah, I would probably give it a week. Maybe I might even go with a month, so that way save a little money. We don't want to be sending postcards out weekly. So we have the 1 month delay after the job is completed, and then a postcard goes out. We can also add another step. So if we want to add another delay, we can certainly do so. And so this is how you start to set up those drip campaigns with the postcards. Now, with the automated campaigns down here, this is for your text messages and your emails, but it's the same idea. So I'm going to go ahead and use the uh, customer list that we created. We'll hit next. And for the text messages and emails, we have a couple of other triggers. So we can do when a job is completed, we can do when they fill out the review, or we can do it when they decline an estimate. You can also build it from scratch if you wish to. I'm going to go ahead and use that job completed and use that template. And so when we tell the system that a job has been completed, we can have a step or we have the delay that's already here for us. I'm going to have this one delay 1 day. So that means the day after the job is completed, I'm going to have a text message and I'm going to have an email go out to the customer saying, thank you for doing business with us. It was a pleasure. Please think of us in the future. Um, Reach out if you need anything. Then my next step here is I have another delay. Maybe not 5 months, that seems a bit far, but maybe 2 months after that job is completed. Now I can have another email go out to them. Maybe this is going to be the maintenance reminder. So, or maybe the special offer. Sign up for our membership program, receive 10% off your next service. So that is really how you can get very granular and start setting up those drip campaigns that are constantly reaching out to your customers. So again, you don't have to, and you have more time back in your day. Now, other things to show in here is people ask me all the time is how do we know if this campaign was successful or not? So as we can see, there's the campaign that we created earlier with our one-time email blast, and it says sent. So I can go ahead and click on it, and up here it's going to give me all the data. Um, let's maybe check out an older campaign so we can get some better data here. Um, let's try this one. Okay, maybe not that one. Let me try one more. Maybe let's go back a while. There's one. Okay. I know there's going to be, oh, maybe not. Anyway, so up here, as we can see the delivery rate. So we can see how many of these were delivered. On one of my older ones, I was looking for one that was 100%, but we did just send this one off. So it looks like, not all of it is delivered. We can look down below at each of the particular customers here. And on the side, we can see the status of like, we see a couple here that are undelivered, most likely because those aren't real addresses. Not processed, so maybe it's just taking a while for these to go ahead and go through. There is also the open rate, so we can see the percentage and the data of how many people actually open the email that we sent to them. We can also see how many of those emails went directly to spam. We can see a conversion rate. So if we added those book now buttons onto our emails or onto our text messages, we would be able to see how many people clicked that link and actually requested a job or requested an estimate. And similar to that, we can then see how much revenue is generated based off of people clicking the button to get into the online booking. So with that, one other thing I do wanted to point out is that we do have the text messaging consent. So as I was talking earlier about if we have customers that we talk to and we say like, hey, is it all right if we send you some marketing material? And they say yes, we can go over, click into here. Notice there's all the people that are in my system. I can just go ahead and check that box for them, hit next, and I can confirm customer provided explicit text message consent. Boom. So now they're not going to receive that first text message that says, click yes to opt in and to opt out kind of thing. A couple of other things in here is the reply to email. So if anybody should reply to a marketing email, we can have it be sent to, another email address. We can have it be sent to a few. So we want to keep it to, send them to our CEO, send them to our marketing manager, whoever that's going to be. And so that way they can keep track of our marketing materials. And the only other thing on there is really just kind of plan usage, which is just takes you over to your billings section. So I do get a question a lot about where do I go to find my billing history? You can always find it in your billing section, but I don't want to get too off the road on Marketing Center. Just wanted to point out that there's a quick button to there. But really, outside of that, that's really everything that is available within our marketing center. So, love to answer some questions. I do see that there's some in the chat, or I do see some chat activity here. Let's see. Um, okay, Shannon, how much does the campaign feature cost? Uh, I believe it depends on the different the different tiers of the accounts. Let me see if I have that information really quickly. I think I do.
Got it
Uh,
right here too.
oh, okay, then you go for it.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a few different plans. If you start on the basic plan, it's $9 a month. If you're on the max plan, it's $89 a month, and it comes with a certain amount of text messages and emails. I'll drop the link to the help article, and it has the pricing attached to it.
Cool. All right, and then from Sean, how do our customers apply for the pay overtime credit?
I think he's referring to Klarna, which is a little unrelated, but happy to go over that in just a moment if there's not any other marketing center questions.
Okay, yeah, we'll burn through that first. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I don't see any other questions listed right there. I know we do have a couple that are prepared. Um, let's see. Okay, so the first one from Susan. I set up email campaigns for I set up email campaigns for install customers that trigger after a job is completed if the customer is tagged install 2026. My concern, if we return later for a warranty or service call and complete another job, will the campaign trigger again since the customer still has that tag? Um, the answer is yes, Susan. That is kind of one thing that I know that's some feedback we've gotten, and I think we are working on some kind of improvements to try and do some of it. I noticed the questions we have today, some of these are like a little bit more of a pro vote, but definitely good feedback. Uh, but yes, because you have that tag of install 2026, it's going to trigger every time that goes out. So what I was thinking of as a way to get around this is after you send that campaign out is to then remove the tag. So if a customer falls under it, you can just remove it. Then that would mean they wouldn't qualify for the next round of when you finish a job. I understand that that's going to be a little bit more of a manual process, but it allows you to do what it is you want to do, um, and not have it be constantly sending out to your customers. Next question is from Seth. Looking for an opinion on using Mailchimp versus HCP integrated email and text campaigns. Okay. I so personally, I used Mailchimp like a long time ago. I do know that we still do have an integration with Mailchimp. My notes for this for the answer for this question was really kind of like it's what works best for you. Obviously, we are building products and features that are trying to keep everything all in one hub for people, so that way you don't have a subscription to Mailchimp and you got a special login for them, and you got a login for Housecall. Now you got a login for Apply. Like we're trying to keep everything under one roof. So to be honest, I know Mailchimp is a little bit more has a little bit more to offer because that is what their whole business is marketing. But what we have is a lot similar to what they have. You get the email blasts, you get the text messaging blasts. I don't know if Mailchimp does postcards. I would assume that they do, but if not, that's something that we have that they don't have. So really the answer to that question is it's what works best for your business. Next question from Joshua. I'm setting up a new postcard campaign and need assistance configuring the automation. I would like to send postcards to clients whose jobs were completed exactly 1 year ago, starting retroactively with jobs on April 1st, 2025. Currently, the system allows me to allow me to automate mailing postcards for jobs completed in the future or manually send batches. Okay. So I was playing with this one earlier, Joshua. You are right. The only way we can do this is that we can, as I showed in the postcard automation, is that we can set a delay for 1 year, and after the job is completed, it'll go ahead and send that postcard. We cannot do it retroactively, unfortunately. I tried really hard, like digging and testing. I couldn't find a way to do it. We can only do it for moving forward. So if you do set up a campaign, a postcard campaign, and put in that delay of 1 year after the job is completed, you should be good to go moving forward. Next one from Arthur. Why when doing a marketing campaign email, it pops up and says that we can only send it out between 9 to 5, 9 to 5, whose time? Um, so personally, Arthur, I have not seen that. 9 to 5. Chris, have you heard anything about that? I
For for the text message send times.
Yeah, I think that's in the help center. I think I've seen something about it.
Yeah, I think it is during standard business hours.
Yeah, but I forget what time zone.
Let's see.
Only, I want to say it's Eastern, but mm,
Um,
I'm gonna try one
it's
other thing. If not, we may have to come back to it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I was under the impression that it's based on your time zone, but that could be wrong. Like whatever area code you're associated with.
yeah, because I remember there was like, I think when it first came out, it was going out at like 2 a.m. because it was going out at like 9 a.m. like Poland time or something, which is the guy who like wrote the program or wrote the feature in or whatever. But then we fixed that. I do believe it's do believe it's Eastern time. Anyway, we'll dig it up for you. I know I've seen it. We just got to find it. Um, all right, and then the last question here from Milt. Can someone educate me on how to add a customer list for text messaging marketing? Everything I've tried isn't working. Um, Milt, I did kind of do that. I'll quickly kind of share it again. If as long as you're doing the steps correctly. Um, it's just going into new campaign, and I just want to double check that was text messaging. So for text messages, it's just going to new list and then going ahead and targeting. So if you are not seeing this, it may be one, you don't have access to it, but that doesn't make sense if you're telling me you're trying to set one up, um, and you just can't make the list. So either you don't have it. The other option maybe is could be the browser that you're using, because if you're not able to see this, that could mean that you're maybe using like Firefox or Safari, and it's going to be one of those glitches. I always tell my pros our system works optimally with Google Chrome, and so I always encourage them to use the platform through Google Chrome. But it does work with Firefox, does work with Safari, does work with Edge. But there are small, like little glitches that can happen, and that I'm wondering if that could be one. So, Milt, you may want to set up a support call so we can take a look at it if you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Um, Okay, I see one from Jenny. This may have already been answered. Did you say we could have customers verbally agree to marketing campaigns and we do it for them? If so, how? That's specifically Jenny for the text messaging. Um, but for that, it's going to be actually when we hit it's this text messaging consent right here. Now, I am aware that also if we do go to a customer profile, eh, we go to a customer profile, you should be able to find over here on the left, right here, communication preferences. So that first one up there, the notifications enabled, that's what as I mentioned earlier, jobs scheduled, we're on our way, jobs finished, text messages. And then we have the email marketing consent. So if the customer does verbally tell us and we want to turn it off for them, notice there's the big red opt out button right there. All right. That's all the questions that we answered that were prepared, all the ones in our chat. Anything from Facebook, Chris?
I'll double check that. I don't think so. No, I see we got a couple of people watching, but y'all last chance if you have any questions. We are looking at Facebook too. Um, Phil, I did find the answer on the times. It is based on your time zones, wherever you are. It's 9 a.m. To 9 p.m. It's like we've extended it recently.
Yeah, I forgot that they actually did make that switch. It's always going to be your local time. Yep.
Yep. Yep. And then we have one other question, unrelated. Sean, I didn't forget about you. To activate Klarna. So I think that's what you're referring to. We have two different financing options for your customer. We have the consumer financing with WiseTac, and then we have Klarna, which is more like buy now, pay later. A little bit easier to use, in my opinion. I'll drop the link to that. You just need to go in your settings and make sure that's turned on in your account, and then your customers should be able to sign up for that if they want to use it. So if you go to your My Money, click Set Up Payments, and that help article walks you through there. It'll have a turn on button for you, and then you can accept that as a payment option when your customers go to checkout. All right. Any other questions? No, no. Right. Um, Next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking. Next week, we're going to be talking about job costing and commissions. So, if you've got employees doing sales, or you're just looking to get to know your numbers a little bit more, you don't quite understand all the features and functionality there. We're going to be talking about that and answering your questions. And then 2 weeks from now as well, we're going to talk about the job inbox, all how you can connect all of your different lead sources if you're using those platforms like Angie or Thumbtack. I think we've gotten a couple of new ones recently plugged in. We'll be talking about all of those options. And then I do want to invite anybody that's in the Los Angeles area or in the Southern California area. We are doing a meetup 2 weeks from today in Culver City. We're going to be debuting some of the newest AI functionality that's coming to Housecall Pro. Our president's going to be there going over that. Amber DeLong, one of our super pros, is also going to be speaking. So we're going to have workshops from 12 to 4. We're going to have a happy hour and some food that from 4 to 6. So if you're in the area, if you're close by, I encourage you to come and attend. It's completely free. Come learn something new, see what's coming on the roadmap. I'll be there, so I would love to connect with some of y'all in person. All right, all right. Well, I don't see any other questions, Phil. I'm gonna drop that link just in case there's anybody interested in attending that event. But otherwise, we'll see everybody next week. And we'll get the recording up online for this the next day or two. So there's that link to the event. All right. Well, thank you, Phil, and we'll see everybody next week. Take care.
All right,
All right.
later.